This is Dan Walsh. I'm here with Cal McCollum from Cali by Cal. Looking at this area and looking at American apparel in terms of stuff made here in the U.S. Why here? Why LA? Why the U.S.? Why do you do both?
Well, we manufacture here in LA. For the most part, we can control our garments. We can control our fabric. We can get the right quality control we're used to, and we can see it from step one to the end. And we can produce that at the same time every time. So when we sell a buyer an item, she's not going to get a different one when it comes to her. The pricing's higher, but we looked at is if we don't get a lot of returns, you get what you pay for. You know, our quality is good, and we can give you the same stuff every time.
Now, you started in 2002.
Correct.
What's been the growth pattern like for you?
When we first started in 2002, we started growing up until about the last couple of years when the recessions hit. Then we took a dive and, you know, we got our act together, started getting our PR back up, and we're in the process of growing and getting back up. And the good thing is the stores we're in, people are buying it. So we've just got to get our name out there as far as PR is concerned, and say, hey, look, you know, we don't have any distinguishing marks on our garments, so you don't know that, you know, the celebrities are wearing it, you know, when you see them, because, you know, it may be a tank top or a dress without anything written on it. So that's kind of our goal, is to pump our name out there and say, hey, look, that is our stuff she's wearing. You know?
Can you show for us, you know, some of the products that make you unique?
Well, first thing it is our fabric reuse. If you look at this color palette, and you look at, we can do vintage wash, or we can hit these really bright colors. You can't do that with cotton. Cotton will always be a duller type of fabric, and so by using the rayons, we can hit these really rich colors. And part of our garments, you can wash them all. You can throw them in the washer and cold, and if you do that with other people's rayon, you're going to get pilling, and they're not going to last. We have laundered these, washed them. I wash some of this stuff with my own stuff, and it doesn't pill. So our niche on our fabric is really soft, butter-feeling fabric like on the rayon. And what we do is we integrate our figure physics bra. And what that is we have a cotton lycra bra in the front that comes in there, and our mesh in the back. And the secret is that our mesh in the back does all the heavy lifting. It's designed to be tighter than the pattern, so it pulls really tight from the back side and holds the breast up in place. And then there's enough fabric in the front where it doesn't make them a uniboob or flatten them out. And so our whole goal is to make the perfect upright position through physics to hold them in place without having to use an uncomfortable bra with straps or anything. So you can wear a tank top, and that's the whole thing. We have tank tops, we have dresses, you know, we have camisoles. You know, how do you wear a bra with that? You don't. And so we do a variety of things that we think, you know, a girl's going to look great in. You know, look, we have dresses, you know, full-length dresses. Same thing, we have the bra integrated in them, so you don't have to worry about that. And that really is our niche in our market. You know, we do standard, you know, regular tank tops, everything. We do everything on the spectrum that you can put a bra into, and then we do, you know, our version of like, this is a cardigan that has a lightweight thermal in it. You know, we do anything that's different. And part of the reason, if I see somebody else, another big line or something, has something like mine, I get rid of it out of my line because I don't want to compete with them. Well, it's kind of opposite. Most people are trying to knock off the bigger guys. I run away from them because I know if I have something sitting there and a buyer's going to come to me and say, well, I can get this from Splendid, they're not going to buy mine. So I always try to make sure I've got something completely different than what the bigger guys have.
Can you talk a bit about your production process, about where you're making it, how long it takes,
Sure.
and so forth?
The production starts right here. Samples, the way it goes, first thing you have to do is make a sample. Then you have to fit it. And when we fit ours, it's not like a regular garment. We can just throw it on a mannequin and throw it on a body. You have to fit the bra part of it, which takes several tries to get it right, because, you know, no woman's breasts are the same. So that's the first major problem, is fitting it. But once you get it fitted, you make a pattern, and then you get the fabric. And you take all the fabric in the pattern to the cutters. They cut out the number of units you need. Then you bring them back in, you sew them all together. Then you take them to the dye house, put them in the right colors. Then we bring them back here, finish them, put them into bags, slap stickers on them, put them on the shelves. Then they go into the box, then they get shipped. And that's why when you have a garment that may only cost us $7 to make, that's why we wholesale it for 20 something and the retailer's going to retail it for 60, because it's not necessarily the cost of the fabric and the garment, it's all the steps it takes to get from a piece of thread and all the labor it takes from everybody to handle it. Each garment has at least 12, 15 steps it's got to go through before it ever hits the store. And so that's kind of where the cost is all built up. It's all employee cost.
Got it. Can we take one more walk through here? Thanks.
Well, this is where we store the excess fabric, and the whole idea is not to have it sitting here. You want to, hopefully you get enough orders, where you don't have much. This is just for samples. And so we don't order the fabric until we get the orders coming to us, so we don't get hung with it. A lot of manufacturers run into a problem with having too much fabric and leftovers, and that's a big expense. When you're a smaller company, you can avoid. A lot of the bigger guys, they can't. They're going to get stuck with it, but we can't. So those are all our sample fabrics. Those are all of our markers from all of our patterns we've done. And markers are how the fabric's cut. Every piece is laid out. And then those are our sewing machines, so we do all of our samples and small production on them. And each one of them does a different thing. And if you can see, you see that piece of elastic that's going through there? The white thing, that's not thread, that's elastic. So we have a special folder that gets put in there because in some of our garments we have the stretch. And so we have full flex, we have elastin, we have all these different things. Basically, we do the same thing a lingerie contractor does, a lingerie manufacturer does. So it's not just like cutting a regular guy's t-shirt and putting stuff on there. We have the elastic. So that all takes, you have to get a mechanic out here to make sure it runs right. You gotta make sure everything's oiled. It's like a car. So every step of the way, you need mechanics, there's a lot of people involved to cut and sew one shirt. And that's kind of, what people don't understand is, just to make one shirt, your mom can probably sit down, cut it, and make one shirt. But to make 500, make 1,000, and keep them going without the machines breaking down, that's where it gets tough.
Great. Well, Cal, thanks for the tour. Sure. This has been Dan Walsh with Cal McCollum at Cali by Cal, here in the Los Angeles Garment District.
Thanks.